Next coaching is Kayle. Hey Neace, it's Dimmy. This is my brother's game review. Sending confirmation. Did it live on stream. Make sure he's watching. Let's do a game with both of us, but I only wanted it for him his birthday. Alright. Let's see the Kayle. What type of ADC is Zaya was the question. What type of ADC? She's fine. She's a great ADC. She can peel herself, which is pretty much all an ADC needs, is to be able to peel herself. She's a good ADC for solo queue. Alright. Cool. Kayle coaching. We got Kayle coaching, and then what we got coming up after that? We got a Caitlyn and a Darius. Kayle sleeper, yep. Kled is good. Not so good in the tank meta right now. He's pretty good. There was a time where he was very strong. All things considered, what? Oh, this game gets weird as hell. This game's really weird. All things considered, I would normally say normally with Kayle, what I like to do is I basically tell everyone to just hard shove like a fucking lunatic. With these paths, I mean, this dude literally started blue, went romp down towards bot side. This guy started red, and then looks like he took golems, and now like he's doing blue. Like, this whole thing is fucked. Basically, the reason why I point that out is because as Kayle, you have two options. I feel like, and the second option is way harder. The first option is you just spam shove with E, and shove, and then hope that you know, the jungler doesn't fuck with you too hard. Second option is what you're trying to do, which is like let the lane push into you. I'm gonna tell you, if I was spamming games as Kayle on a Smurf, I would not do what you're doing right here. I wouldn't do this if it's me. And I think you should consider the reality that some people would say, well, if you shove, then Trundle ganks, or, you know, whatever, you know, bullshit. It's not bullshit, by the way. It's fine to think that you're going to get ganked. But essentially what I'm going to pitch to you is that in silver range, silver gold elo, it is oftentimes more profitable for you to just jam the lane, harass this guy as you're jamming the lane, put your ward down, hide in the brush, and then resume every time a wave shows up. Resume. What that's going to do is that's going to put your opponent on the back foot, hopefully poke down, which will in itself discourage ganks, because your opponents will be so bad that they will just take the harass and they won't manage it at all. So the way that the whole equilibrium of this goes is like, if you shove into the top laner, a good top laner mitigates the harass that comes with the lane shoving. That way, if the jungle gank comes, he can assist. Because if a top laner is shoving, this guy will pretty much take no damage in shoving. And the only way he dies is in a 2v1, which requires this top laner to keep his HP up enough to assist in the gank. Very rarely does a jungler run out of the jungle, especially Trundle with no... He's not running Ghost or anything, so his ganks aren't very effective, I think, pre-6. I think the only time a Trundle gank looks scary is with Ghost. And that's just Trundle being kind of a crappy jungler. That's the only way that shit can work. So, I think this is good if we assume our opponents are bad. What you are doing is good if we assume that our opponents are bad. So, the fact that you're not just like jamming the wave would be good. However, your opponents are bad and you're kind of bad. So, the way that we navigate this elo is by not arrogance, but confidence, okay? So, when we come into lane, what I want in my world, in the Neace land, I want you jamming this fucking wave in. Shove the lane in. Pressure the Darius. Look to shove the lane in early and pressure this guy. Accumulate an HP lead. Pull pressure to the U top side. And while that's happening, you're going to be getting big farm because it's easy for you to shove a lane than just try to calmly last hit. It's much easier to just hard shove. So like right here, you should be eating the wave and just getting it under. Ooh, that's right. Jam it in, boys. But you see how we just give him level 2? We're not going to accumulate much of a lead doing this. This is going to be a break-even lane. The jungler ganking could be the rake back. What do you mean? Is this a poker analogy? Now I want you to look at this. Twitch chat's flaming you for this being a boring lane. I agree. I think that this is the elo where we can get away with being, we can be confident, because even if we fuck up early, yeah, I get the poker analogy, dude. I don't think my chat does, but I get it. I don't like that we're just chilling, hoping this goes our way, and hoping that we get to just kind of farm up and relax and not pressure the lane. Every lane at this level is beatable. Like, and the other thing is, you have an advantage in this matchup, in that you have the range advantage on Darius. You can bait him into a bad spot and kill him with your ult, like good ult use. So I don't like the idea that we're 7 minutes in and we're not really doing much. Is this really the amount of faith we have in our gameplay and our kiting, that we're letting this guy just farm with us? That's how LCS players play lane phase. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a reasonable. It's not to say that your approach is terrible. I just don't think it's optimal. Like, if I may use another cringy poker analogy, it would be like, you will win more than you will lose just kind of chilling and farming like this and not feeding and getting to late game and then right-clicking everybody. You will win more than you lose, but you won't crush. Like, you won't... In poker, it's like, when you play poker, you're supposed to play aggressive because everyone in poker knows... Like, every, like, average poker player knows that if they just wait for, like, aces and wait for an idiot to sit at the table and just wait for their big money hands, they'll probably win more than they lose, too, because there's enough morons out there that literally don't know how poker works at all that they'll make money. It'll be very slow. It's the difference between you, like, crushing and winning lots of money in poker, playing aggressive, or just like being slightly above break even. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I'm trying to get you to understand that if you go into these lanes with this mentality of, I am just as good as this guy, and if we both mechanically battle, he's going to beat me, that is terrible. It will not improve you fast enough. You will be sitting in silver forever doing this little farm lane thing and being like, and then being disappointed, because the reality is no champion in League can just 1v9 late game off of just like stalemate farming. Like, there's no champion that can do that other than like maybe Twitch. That's like a big maybe too. And like, if you take no risk and you don't get fed, like maybe you can get like 1 or 2 good ults and like win. That's like the only champion that I can think of that can just afford to literally do nothing but farm. Like, essentially, I'm saying that in order to win in League reliably, one must snowball pretty fucking hard. Yeah, Kassadin's okay. Kassadin would be like right... It would be a few steps behind Twitch, but he's right there. But even Kassadin plays to crush his lane by farm denial. Nasus sucks. Stop saying Nasus. He sucks dick. Nasus blows. Fat, flat, chodish, floppy dong. He sucks. Nasus is garbage. He can have 3,000 stacks. He's still fucking garbage. He really... The only reason that Nasus even worked with Quas was because when Quas played it, what did Quas do? He won his lane, is essentially what Quas was doing. He was playing to win his lane. His whole style was like double Dorans, Emax, cheese, shove lane, and then you know, knock down towers quickly. It was essentially a cheese. He wasn't playing for some like late game dominance. Honestly, when you really think about solo queue and high elo, no one really plays for late game dominance. They mostly play for, especially in Korea, they mostly just play to win the lane. So the point of me going into this long-winded explanation is to say that you spent 12 minutes just sitting here having a picnic, and it would be great. Having a picnic is cool if your team's winning. Having a picnic is actually probably optimal. If your team's crushing, having a picnic is always a good way to make sure that you give yourself a pretty good chance of winning. But I think that you should be going into every lane with Kayle, trying to bully with your harass and your push power, and even if you draw gank, so be it. I would rather you be doing that, learning how to whittle somebody down with smart, quick trades and kiting, than playing this shit, because this is just not... It's not worth it long term. And especially when we look at their team, 4-0, 3-0, 2-3, Darius got to kill somewhere. Like, do you see the problem with this? I want in the first like 5 minutes, like the first 6-7 minutes, I want this guy to be crying because he picked melee into ranged, or you counterpicked him or whatever. I want this guy to be crying. Waiting for my bro the jungler to come up in KS. Yeah, maybe. I just don't want to. I just don't want a situation where you keep going into games looking like this, because it doesn't seem fun either, man. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe this is fun for you, but don't you want to? Don't you want to beat his ass? Turn on some rap music or whatever, you know, whatever your screamo, whatever your shit is. I turn on the rap music because I like to pretend that I'm pimping while I'm just like, you know, playing a video game. Like somehow, like I could hang with the dudes with like the gold canes and chains. Yeah. But this whole like just AFK farm is just not. I mean, I'm fast forwarding because I just want to see when shit gets real. This is actually amazing, though. You found a way to play this game as boring as possible. Whew, 20 minutes. 20 minutes and we did it, boys. If it's me, I'm running back to top. I don't know why you're going to mid. Run back to top and shove. So, you're probably thinking, why am I saying run back to top and shove? Seriously? Of course, it would be this replay that would freeze too. There's so much action that it just couldn't handle it. 20 minutes. That's where we were at. Elo stolen. Well, I wanted to go to like 20 because I wanted to show him what happened after the fight. I get off at around 3 p.m. Today I might do a short session though because my wife has the day off. Okay, so right here. I want you going to top. Darius, 3 have died. Your team does not need help pushing. There's already 2 members mid. Lux is coming down mid as well. Tristana's bot. So they're only dealing with 1 person defending. They will be fine, and it's best to assume that they'll be fine anyways. In the meantime, you could split resources to top, get more XP, and double the pressure on the map. Okay? That's what I'm about, yo. I'm about maxing the pressure out. Also, I'm all about my coaching. If you've never seen my streams before, I'm all about you are the carry. Yes, you're doing. Yes, you can play around your duo in Discord, but you need to play for yourself and carry the game. This is Articuno. Okay, hold on. Articuno is a beast. I think I got it. Thanks, man. Sub hype train for that guy. Yes, you are the only constant. So, after that fight, you should be going up top. This wave, if you leave, is going to slow push out, which means all this XP here here, and even a third wave, if we speed it up, should be gone. By my calculations. Should be about 3 waves. 4? No, 3. So, see? Bingo. Watch that again. Why did I do it? I knew that it was going to freeze. I totally forgot. Sorry, hold on. I want to show you that, though. It's very important. It is. I know people are like, it's just fucking minions walking. But, like, you need to see it. You need to see why it's so important. Because it's XP that we lose. He said, I didn't pick the replay. Didn't your donation go through? No, you got to donate again. Donate like 10 more times. No, I got your donation. Yeah, you got to see these minions walk with me, boys. Okay, watch this again. This is important. All right. So after the fight breaks out, watch. Minions here. Remember, wave management, can't teach it enough. Always have to teach it to low elo players. You probably don't get it, and I'm not saying that to insult your intelligence. I didn't get it, and I was in fucking Diamond, and I still didn't get it. It was like my first season. I didn't quite hear what you just said. Could you donate again? Fucking with you, dude. I normally get offline around 3, but today I'm getting off a little early because my wife has the day off. If you donate again, I'm not answering that though anymore, dude. Get shit on. Now look, I have to teach wave management to newbies, okay? So here's the middle of the wave, right? If your minions are stacked up here on your half of the wave, or your half of the lane, that means that if they've stopped, right? If they've stopped and you have a wave coming, that means, guess what? The wave is going to slowly push out because these minions here are going to get to this point where the wave is stopped before these minions, which means that these minions will have an impact on the push before these minions. You still with me? Good. That means that after one wave has come through, you're going to have a giant wave of minions building that is moving out, because every subsequent wave that comes out will not be bigger than these minions and these minions stacked up together. So, watch. Again, these minions come up. Right? Bam. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with a fucking cannon minion, okay? So guess what that means? And again, same thing. This is why I predicted it was going to be about 3 waves, is because it was so far back. These minions are going to meet, but guess what? Just like Risk, you ever play that stupid board game Risk with the dice? This army's probably going to beat this army. Except it's a lot less like Risk, because this army is always going to beat this army. It's never like your cannon minion just magically crits, which would be hilarious. Which, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Riot added into the game later or some dumb shit. But this means that the wave is going to be delayed, but it's still delayed on your side. So guess what? Just like before, this wave is going to meet here before this wave. So now the wave is going to build even more, and it's going to get bigger. See? Now look. All these minions. See? All these minions stack up. And what that means is every single wave that your minions defeated, you don't even have an option to collect. So you better be damn sure that you're going to be getting shit done around the map for this to happen. Now, you could say to me, but Neace, we did get something done. Like, I did get kills in the middle. I did. And that's great. I'm glad that you did. But the reality is that fight that you win, the only reason you win it is because your opponents are idiots. Your opponents meet in the middle of the map. Thanks, Wicked. Appreciate it, dude. You know I love you. I added you to auto host, by the way. The only reason that your team wins this fight is because the enemy team chose to take the fight. So you're essentially assuming that your opponents are retarded enough to just waddle into one another, which, to be fair, in low elo is true. But the thing that you're missing is, the detail that you're missing is you're giving away about 15 minions of XP and gold, and tower pressure, and the XP and gold is not split. The XP is not split with anybody. It's completely your own XP. So you're guaranteed to get bigger, more gold, and get tower pressure, which can be more global gold for your teammates. And you're also adding to this the fact that the enemy is going to be losing all of this shit. And they're going to be losing the minions that you crash under tower, which would honestly be about this many. But you're building a wave to bounce back to you. So remember that whole circumstance where it was like, watch all these minions you lose, and we stared at minions walking, which was boring. But you get to put that situation on your opponent as opposed to like missing all this XP and gold. You cause the enemy to miss XP and gold, and you basically extend your lead that much more. Okay? There you go. I think I have explained lane management to a fair degree for the people that are watching, I hope. I've been trying to get a good way to keep explaining this. Twitch chat's gonna okay spam me now. Fucking nerds. No, I'm not making a clip. And you're getting stuck in mid. You're A-ramming. You A-rammed, the wave bounced back, and you stayed, you basically, your whole team did it, but you chose to take part in it because, like I said, your newbies, I've said this before on streams, your newbies are trying to get you to do things. Your newbies are giving you tests. Your newbies are pop quizzing you. Randomly, you'll win a fight and your noobs will go, hey, Stavros, right? That's your name. Stavros, would you like to go and sit mid, miss a fuckload of XP, not pressure the tower, and then just abandon the lane phase that you AFK'd in for 20 minutes and just farmed? Would you like to do that? Because we would, like, as a team, you want to do what the team is doing, don't you? Do you not like us, Stavros? And you're supposed to say, no, fuck knuckle. I like winning and I like LP. So slob the knob. I'm gonna go top and I'm gonna pressure the tower. Right? But exactly, MD still gets it. You heard the question and you're just like, yes, I would like to put this game completely onto chance, miss XP, miss gold, and you know what? I really like I like the idea that I pull a lever and the game says I won or lost, and then there we go. I absolutely would love that. So, the hard part about this whole exchange, right, is it's kind of frustrating because you're going to become very jaded in this process of learning like how to get your own XP and control the game in your own way, and that you protecting your XP, you pressuring the lane smartly, you protecting your gold is actually going to alienate you from your teammates, and it's going to make you hate your teammates. It's a sad reality, is because they're going to always, every game you play until you get to a higher level, they're always, honestly, it doesn't stop. It never stops. But until you get to a very high level, you're always going to have teammates that don't understand the concept of getting the maximum XP and doing the things that are reliable, that are reliable win conditions. And exactly, that's why it's called solo queue. I think you just wasted TP, didn't you? I would rewind, but I'm scared it's gonna freeze again. Don't hate me. Sometimes different replays freeze. If you apply what I'm teaching you, you will climb. Everything I'm saying is based on my own failures and learning process that I've put upon myself. Nothing I'm telling you is like that is untrue for me or anything. Yeah. At this point, we're just kind of A-ramming around. Now, I don't think I mean, you can definitely just, like, split push a lot as Kayle. I don't think it's always the best move to split push in, like, every circumstance. But you're A-ramming into a pretty high damage, like, sustained damage, death ball type of comp. Where you, like, the only thing that makes this comp considerably weaker than it could be is just the Blitzcrank pick. Outside of, like, a normal support, like a traditional, you know, heal support or something. But you're looking at a giant Tristana, a giant Trundle, Brand, who's all, like, the thing about Brand is always safe damage pick, and Darius. I would rather have you just splitting all game versus comp. Instead of A-ramming and hoping that the shit works. It's, like, never going to work because you're always just going to get out DPS'd. And it's pretty clear, evidenced by the fact that, you're not managing your XP. You're just kind of accepting whatever fights your team throws at you, and you're just like, let's fight. That's not what I want, dude. I want split push, lane control, and then shove flank if you're going to be doing any fights. At least that way you have situations where the tower is being pressured and minions are being denied. XP and CS is getting denied. What is this TP? This is a pretty Looney Tunes TP by you. I don't really know what it does. You just TP'd to... You're just like, I really, really want to go through this tri-brush. That's what you just said with that TP to me. You're just like, you know what? I just cannot get enough of walking through my blue side tri-brush. Like, I need it. Like, I need this. Checking Baron, I mean, I guess. But I see no one. Well, how are they gonna do, wait, how are they gonna do Baron if Tristana's dead? They're not Baroning here ever. And Trundle's right there. They're not Baroning ever. Just as a rule, teams don't Baron unless they have champions like are designated Baron champions like Master Yi or Heimerdinger. They don't Baron without their ADCs very often. It takes too long. Cassiopeia, Karthus. Again, this fight goes well for us. The only reason it goes well for us is just opponents being stupid. There was nothing about this fight where we like knew for sure that the enemy was going to commit to a 4v or it was like a 3v5 or whatever the fuck they just did. It was literally just you guys just kind of moved into the middle like an amorphous blob and the shit worked. Coin flip success, exactly. I'm going to try to rewind even though it might freeze the game. This was bad by you because you didn't wait for your Q. You needed to slow the guy before committing to auto-attacking him. You can't just walk up and auto-attack a Darius without doing at least one round of Q first. That would have been the smart move. And you didn't have your ult as well. So you had to ensure that your kiting was like top notch. So essentially your Q was off a cooldown, but you ran into Darius to auto attack him. Stay away, bait your teammate for a little while longer, then Q. That way at least you'll have a chance of kiting him if you want to commit. Or make the safe play, just take the pick and walk away if you can. At this stage of the game, the later the game goes, the more it's about taking a pick and getting the fuck out. What's up, Igor? Igor's got that staff, dude. And I'm not talking about an infection, dude. He works for Twitch. So he can ban any of you from Twitch at any time. Perma. And they just run it down. Nothing you can do about how the game ended. So let's talk about that. Let's review real quick, okay, before I shut this replay down. First things first. First things first. Lane, you can't go into silver games acting like people are better laners than you. Fuck that. That's pointless. I would rather you, and you know your team's not gonna like this very much sometimes, but I would rather you go into lane trying to bully the shit out of lane, shove the lane as Kayle, and drawing pressure and escaping that pressure and learning how to navigate pushing a lane and pressuring a tower and pressuring the enemy's HP bar, because you had melee versus range. I would rather you feed in the first 10 minutes trying to pressure the lane than playing passive and hoping to win what's essentially a coin flip, teammates versus teammates. Yes, Kayle has a good late game, but you didn't play it right anyways, and there's no value in silver, gold, or even low platinum. There's no value in assuming that your lane opponents are better than you, because it won't actually really improve your game that much, in that you're just going to be sitting there having weak laners get to coexist. That guy, that Darius, should not be able to survive lane phase. I'm going to shit on this dude real quickly. And this isn't to be a dick to him, because it's really not. Not everyone's like me and can play a game all day. This is EUS, correct? I believe so. The Mendrick. This is your opponent. This is the guy who you just AFK farmed with. This is the guy that you as a player respected. You respected this player to make good decisions and to play optimally. This is the guy. The Mendrick. 240. See, and this is what I'm saying. I can just pull people at random. This is the guy that you elected to take a 20-minute farm lane with. You know, the only person that the first time I ever took like a serious, like, this guy's better than me in a game of League of Legends and just accepted that, like, I would be farming and there was no, like, I'm just going to try to get carried. It was when I was playing Gangplank last season and I made like 200 LP Masters and I got in a game with fucking Dyrus and Gangplank was banned, I think, or something. Gangplank was banned and I was playing Echo. I picked Echo and he picked Renekton. And I just farmed and literally did what you did. It was literally just farmed and hid. And that game I wound up getting carried, actually, even though I had no idea what I was doing. But in that case, yes, like, Dyrus is going to be the one that wins that matchup. Because A, I'm not good at Echo. B, he's really good at top lane and Renekton. So why would I, you know... But this is the guy. Like, you are facing someone with a negative win rate in Silver 3. You are playing a champion that I would assume you play a lot, I'm hoping. And you're not trying to just run the guy off of the face of the earth. Like, push the lane in early, bully, smack the tower, draw jungle pressure, get hyped to win a lane, and then get, you know, you can consider to keep split pushing, or you can just shove and roam. Alright? The next thing I'm going to tell you is after important fights, if the lane is like on your side, try to turn around and get your lane. Focus on your lane and getting the lane managed, either by crashing the wave under tower or you know, having your teammates help you or whatever you got to do. But there, you're Kayle. Just jam the wave next time and then rotate to the fight, or jam the wave and hit the tower when there was that many people dead. And then last thing that I would say is that in regards to kiting, specifically Darius, when you're in these like clutch team fights or these clutch skirmishes or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, what's happening? It's almost always better as a kite champ to wait for that extra second or two for the cooldown that can kind of peel yourself as you're kiting, as opposed to auto attacking and like getting too close in order to auto attack. Because if you get too close to auto attack to play the little kite game but you don't have any cooldowns, you're always going to lose the kite game. The idea is Kayle can kite with her heal, her self heal, and her Q. So at the least in that spot where you're fighting in the jungle, like, you clearly were like, I gotta help, but it's like, no, the best way to help is to wait the extra second or two. And yes, that little extra second or two of, you know, if Darius is here and you're here, You cannot walk up to his range here and try to fuck with him until you at least have your cooldowns, because if you walk up and try to fuck with him, you're never going to kite that out. He's too fast. He's too fast at this stage of the game. You have to slow him. You have to, you have to manipulate move speed a little bit before you can fuck with people. So there's a lot of little things for you to work on. Your farm wasn't the worst. Your farm wasn't amazing, but it wasn't the worst. I would emphasize, and other thing is, the reason why your farm's not that great is because you left lane and just ran around the map like a chicken with your head cut off. Remember, Kayle's supposed to shove lanes, win towers, shove lanes, and then maybe you can flank a little bit more and team fight a little bit more with Kayle. You don't have to try to dive per se because your ult's so good in a team fight, and your AoE damage is pretty good. But I at least want you winning your lane and acting like you own it. Don't let some fucking hard stuck silver player scare you out of the lane. That's weak. That's whack shit. All right, cool. YouTube, what up? It's Neace, No Bullshit Gamer. Thanks for watching. Cringy outro time. There's a sub button above me. You can click that, and some videos to my left and right. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next coaching video. All right, I'm out. Peace. Cracks. Thanks.